Now, our next guest has a hobby you probably have never heard about because we hadn't either. So when a celebrity gets arrested, they need help making the transition from the penthouse to the big house. So, cue the prison consultant.
Yes, did you know they existed? Well, John Fuller, who goes by the nickname Doc, has been coaching new inmates since 2004. He takes them through everything from day-to-day routines to avoiding prison fights. We're pleased to say Doc joins us now, live from New York. Good morning to you. Very unusual career that you've carved out. How did you become a celebrity prison consultant?
Good question, Georgia. Well, while I was in prison, I put programs together such as mentoring, alternatives to violence and things of that nature. So fast forward to that, when I was released, I was a personal trainer. I had a client who had a nephew who would be going to prison for the very first time. He asked me would I come by and talk to him. Lo and behold, what I thought might take an hour took 7 or 8 hours. The family got involved, and it took off from there. $2,000 later, which I did not expect because I was doing it for a friend. I called my good friend Radim up. I ran the possibility of putting a business together by him. He said, put the pedal to the metal, and I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, right. I mean, unfortunately for a lot of celebrities out there, I mean, big-name celebrities, we think of people like Martha Stewart or people like that, they have had to have stints behind bars. So when a big-name celebrity approaches you to coach them, what happens at this meeting?
Well, the very first meeting is generally a very sensitive one because I encourage everyone to go into prison sober. So I'd like to know if they're using drugs or alcohol. And then I need to know really if they've mended any wounds with family members, whether it was a spouse, a son, a daughter, was it your teammate, was it your co-star? Because that will primarily be your support network during the course of your incarceration. And then we start getting down to the business of the do's and don'ts inside of prison.
Okay, so let's get down to the business of the do's and don'ts inside of prison. What are the do's and don'ts inside of prison? Do I have to punch the biggest guy in the room when I first get in there, like the movies?
I'd strongly suggest that you don't. Most of the things that your mother, and your grandmother raised you not to do, those are the things that you should not do.
Okay. So what else are the do's and don'ts then, Doc?
Well, you don't want to steal. You don't want to borrow anything from anyone in prison. You don't want to fall into gangs. You definitely don't want to get involved with using drugs and alcohol inside of prison. You don't want to snitch on anyone. I'd strongly suggest that an individual don't associate with individuals who are convicted of domestic violence or of child molestation. Those are the major don'ts inside of prison.
Doc, you advise everyone from teenagers to celebrities, as we've discussed. Who has the most trouble, would you say, in adjusting to life in prison?
I would say the celebrity or a person who's making a whole lot of money for the following reasons. When you think about a celebrity and them being stripped of everything they love, it's not just the friends, but it's their brand. It's their endorsements that they have from various sponsors. Then it could come down to properties that they have, whether it's homes, boats, and things of that nature. When you think about things that a teenager may miss out on, it's friends. What are my friends on social media going to think? Who's going to check my Facebook? Who's going to check my Instagram? So 2 totally different concerns.
Those would be the last things on my mind going into prison. Doc, just quickly before you go, how much would someone expect to pay for a prison consultant? I'm asking for a famous person's son-in-law.
Again, very good question. Appreciate that, David. Well, you know, it can start for free. I've consulted with individuals for free, and it can also range from $500 to the upwards of $10,000 or more. It depends on, you know, how far am I going to fly? What kind of inconvenience is this going to be not only for me, but for my family? How many family members do you have that want to actually sit in on a consultation? In addition to that, Are you currently undergoing a psychiatric evaluation? If you're going to the federal system, you know, it may be best that you get a biopsychosocial evaluation done, perhaps from a forensic counselor, and then, you know, that can be something that could be submitted to the court. So there are variations, but there's no hard set rule.
Oh, Doc, fascinating. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really do appreciate your time. You can get a copy of Doc's book. It's called A Day in Prison. It's at booktopia.com.au.